Hello everyone, Gramsy here, and welcome back to another Thick Thursdays, the best source for your weekly VR news. Just juicy facts and stories presented in an easily digestible way for your virtual reality needs. This week we've got all kinds of crazy news, from the PSVR 2 launch date being delayed to Vive making its own multi-platform Metaverse, I guess, which is basically no different from a regular Metaverse. But anyway, Amazon selling Bootleg Quest 2s, and Gabe Newell dropping some hints at a new standalone VR headset from Valve. All that and much more on this week's episode of Thick Thursdays. Let's get started. Let's just begin with the topic that everyone is talking about, the Viverse. This past week, HTC has been unveiling plans for their own multi-platform metaverse and releasing video after video showing different aspects of it, explaining its core features and systems, and basically trying to, well, just sales pitch it to the world. And if the likes to views ratio on this video is any indication of how well it was received, then it was received quite poorly. Not really anyone is buying into this, and I can't say that I blame them. It feels like a major cash grab from all of these corporations trying to put their stake in the future of the metaverse so they don't lose out on potential new revenue streams. But beyond that, it's just the same thing that every other corporation, especially Meta, has pitched already, and there's not really anything remarkably unique or radically different about it compared to others. There are upsides to some of the features they are presenting, so let's go over them from start to finish. First, the Viverse will be accessible from a number of mediums, from smartphones, PCs, and tablets to the company's own new viveflow VR glasses. The fact that it is cross-platform accessible allows users to travel between them interoperably. You will be able to connect your crypto wallets and import NFTs to your Viverse account, and the core idea, as HTC has stated, is to have a focus on identity, security, and privacy. To further this goal, they have unveiled the Vive Guardian, a new privacy and safety tool for parents and kids to use while exploring the metaverse. It will allow parents to child-proof and safety lock games, apps, or other virtual encounters they don't want their children having access to, and being able to monitor them while they are traveling through the metaverse. And despite the tackiness and memes of Vive's trailers for the Viverse, I see this particular aspect of it as an absolute win. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think parents have the sole responsibility of protecting and monitoring their children when it comes to virtual reality, or do you think that the platforms, the games, and apps share some culpability in keeping its users safe? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's start a dialogue about it. Moving into some more disappointing news, it is looking more like PSVR 2 will be released sometime during Q1 of 2023. While it is mostly speculative at this point, and Sony has neither confirmed nor denied these reports, this information comes on good authority from YouTuber PSVR Without Parole, who is known for accurately leaking a lot of VR-related information in the past, as well as having accurately leaked the PSVR 2 specs before they were officially announced. Despite this, it is still entirely uncertain when the exact release date of the PSVR 2 will be, so take this news with a grain of salt. Though I have to admit it does sound plausible. Between supply chain issues, a silicone shortage, and turbulent economic activity worldwide, it isn't that much of a stretch to imagine seeing PSVR 2 delayed until next year. While it does mean they're going to miss out on the holiday season, it may strategically work better for them, as we have seen plenty of consoles, games, and technology released during Q1 in the past. We'll just have to wait and see what Sony does as we get closer to 2023. Speaking of PSVR 2, it is now confirmed that Resident Evil 7, one of PSVR's top-selling titles, is coming to the PlayStation 5, leading everyone to the same question: will it make an appearance on the upcoming PSVR 2 headset? And the answer is still pretty unclear as of right now. Though Sony made no mention of it in their announcement about the port, it does seem likely that it would inevitably wind up getting PSVR 2 support at some point. I mean, they already have a solid PSVR VR version of it. Doesn't seem like it would be that difficult to port it over, but I'm not a game developer and they probably know their own products much better than I do. So far, Sony has only officially announced Horizon Call of the Mountain for PSVR 2, though we will likely find out about additional titles once Sony decides on an official launch date for their upcoming VR headset. And now it's time for a big snack. It's dead, it's done, ladies and gentlemen. It is finally over. The Oculus name is truly and finally gone. After Meta's announcement of their focus on changing their branding from Oculus to Meta, they were promptly ratioed on Twitter, and now after the majority of the fallout has cleared, they have officially pulled the plug on the Oculus brand name on their own headsets. So now Quest users can expect to soon see Meta's corporate logo on the boot up sequence of their Quest 2 headsets in the near future. It may take days or even weeks, as the global rollout will take some time, but be sure, Oculus boot up sequences no more. And now, back to the news. Since we're already talking about Meta, let's just keep ripping this band-aid off, shall we? Recently, Mark Zuckerberg joined Lex Friedman on his podcast where they covered a wide range of topics, but what many took note of were some comments Zuck made specifically about eye and face tracking in upcoming Meta projects, specifically the next iteration of the Quest. Zuckerberg went on to say, quote, "There's a whole part of your brain that's just focused on reading facial cues. So when we're designing the next version of Quest or the VR headset, a big focus for us is face tracking and basically eye tracking so you can make eye contact, which isn't really something that you can do over video conference. I imagine that would be something that would be difficult for the Zuck to figure out, considering how bad the alien is at acting like a human being." I'm kidding, but seriously, this could be huge news for Quest users in the future, though I don't think it will be happening anytime soon. As John Carmack, Meta's CTO, said just a few months ago, the Quest 2 will have a long life, and all reports seem to point towards Meta maintaining focus on completing Project Cambria this year. Is Amazon selling bootleg refurbished Quest 2s? Well, kinda, yeah. But it's not what you think. Amazon themselves aren't selling the Quest 2s directly, Oculus or Meta is. They haven't made any major announcements about this and seem to be trying to keep it somewhat quiet, indicating that perhaps there are more problems with some of the newer Quest 2s than Meta is leading on. Regardless, Amazon is facilitating the sale of these refurbished Quest 2 units with a $50 discount on both the 128GB and 256GB models. Additionally, Amazon is upping the ante by slapping on a total 1 year of refund or replacement warranty, making it a better time than ever for potential VR enthusiasts to affordably get into virtual reality and start playing their favorite VR games. Valve's Gabe Newell has dropped yet more hints that they are working on a standalone VR headset of their own. In an interview with Eurogamer, Newell alluded how their current work with the Steam Deck lent some of its ideas to products they could build in the future, and at one point specifically asking the question, why can't I have that in a tetherless integrated VR solution? Valve has been hinting at the possibility of a standalone VR headset since before the Steam Deck was originally announced last year, with Newell even calling the Steam Deck a stepping stone to wireless VR solutions. Despite this, there are still a number of reports and public patent information available for a product Valve is working on simply called Deckard, and if any of the specs from that are an indication of how truly insane and next level this VR tech is going to be when or if it inevitably comes out, well, let's just say I am personally excited. Valve pushed the envelope of what was possible with VR headsets with the first Index. I expect them to stay their course and continue trying to release the most next-gen, the most groundbreaking technology in their HMDs as possible, but only time will tell. That's all the time we have this week, everyone. Be sure to leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought about these stories and to let me know what stories you would like to see covered for the following week. Remember to hit the like button if you thought this video video was informative. Subscribe if you want to see more of it next week, and hit the notification bell if you just can't stand missing out on these sweet, sweet, dummy thick news clips. Until next time, Gramsy out.